Hey, everybody. Welcome to Smackdown and welcome to Marked by Wrestling. Appreciate you guys joining me tonight as we are then now and forevering 24 hours away from Wrestlepalooza, the first ESPN co-branded event with the WWE. So I think we're going to have a good time tonight. I think things are going to be very interesting going into tonight. All right, everybody. So yeah, we have a contract signing tonight for the WWE title match tomorrow. We have a tag title match tonight. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair defending against Alba Fyre and Chelsea Green. Brock Lesnar will speak tonight, and Sami Zayn U.S. Open Challenge with Carmelo Hayes. So I'm looking very forward to that match, regardless of how it goes out. And there is him right there, Carmelo Hayes. With a U.S. title shot tonight. Will The Miz ruin it for him? We'll find out. And there is the champion, Sami Zayn, looking super casual, as always. So what's up, everybody? Good to see you guys. If you are new to Marked by Wrestling, thank you for being here. I ask that you just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button while you're here. We're trying to grow every single day here at Marked by Wrestling and get this channel fully off into the air as Michael Cole and Corey Graves are on the call tonight. We're getting closer and closer to having memberships here at Marked by Wrestling, so I can't wait to share that with you guys and share some more content as well. Hello to Sophie. Hello to Dro. Dossie, good to see you as well. Teflon Don, so good to see you. Oh, you got that VPN, baby. You're going to be all set from here on out. Michael Cole is headed off. I guess we're starting off with Brock. Is he going to interview him? I hope Michael Cole doesn't take an F5. Justin, good to see you as well. Hey, Sean, good to see you, my friend. Okay. Brock is coming out. I guess Michael Cole was going to meet him backstage. So we'll see what we've got. All right, Justin, I'll try to give you a good play-by-play then if you're not watching along tonight. Yeah, I feel you, Sean. I hope that ESPN is able to continue their negotiations here with different TV companies to get that service connected with everybody. It would be helpful because I'm going to have to be VPNing that thing myself. Oh my gosh. Brock Lesnar has just picked up Michael Cole in the aisleway, but he's just got him carried over his shoulder and he's headed to the ring. What are we about to have here? He's headed, no, is he headed up the steps? He's just walking around ringside. I think Brock is just screwing with him, but we'll see what happens. Okay, yeah, he's headed up the steps and he's sitting Cole on the top rope, gets him in the, and just shoves him in the ring like a jerk. Come on, man. That's Michael Cole. Be nice, Brock. Plenty of booze in the house for Brock. He's standing on Cole's ankle, too. He's got him around the tie. Crowd's chanting for Cena, but Cena's not here, guys. At least not to my knowledge. He hasn't been advertised. Dossie, if you've got Hulu Live, it should already be integrated. Oh, Corey. Corey's come in the ring to try to reason with Brock. I sure hope Corey doesn't take... Oh, no. Corey's about to eat an F5. Well, Corey, welcome back to the ring from Brock Lesnar with his man bun and his fuzzy mullet. Well, I don't think we were all that worried about people cheering Brock in the first place, but he's doing the extra legwork to get booed for sure. So, yeah. So I guess this is going to be. Oh, and hello from the Marked by Wrestling family. This is our channel mascot. I'm pointing at the dog. I want to make sure that's clear everything. And my beautiful wife, Mrs. Marked by Wrestling.
Hi.
Good to see you guys. Okay. Brock Lesnar says he's coming for blood, which I think is an intention of violence against John tomorrow. We'll find out at Wrestlepalooza. So, by the way, just a shout out to A&B Convos. Prayers for them. They had a family thing go on this afternoon, which is why they're not streaming tonight, but they will be there for Wrestlepalooza tomorrow, which I won't be. So I'll catch you guys after the show at some point, whether that's tomorrow night or whether it's Tuesday during NXT, but we'll talk about it. Shamanica, good to see you. Brock just throwing Prime bottles everywhere now. I mean, that's kind of a babyface move, to be honest. Now he's got the steps, and all the referees and agents are trying to pull Corey out of the ring. Meanwhile, Brock is going full. Oh no, Corey didn't get out of the ring. Corey's going to eat another F5. Who's going to commentate tonight? I can't do the whole show by myself. Is Wade Barrett here? I'm pretty sure Brock just dropped the F-bomb. Surrounded by agents and men in suits. And he's taunting Cena into the camera. Oh my goodness. I guess Corey can take a bump. I mean, good for Corey. Maybe I don't want to start hypothesizing. And now we have crossed the bridge of WWE fandom now where they're chanting one more time. Y'all, Corey's been doing his best work. We don't want him to take and they're booing Brock for not doing a third F5. They booed him for doing one. They booed him for doing two, but they also booed him for not doing three. That is the state we are in. You guys ever watch the Deadpool movies where Deadpool's like catchphrase is maximum effort? The John Cena Brock Lesnar feud is like minimum effort. Like there's absolutely hardly anything going into this build. And I think the discussion you got to have is, should we be criticizing WWE Creative for doing the absolute bare minimum and trying to build this match that is going to be the first match to open the show for Wrestlepalooza, the first show on ESPN? Or do you counter with, these two are such big stars, they don't have to build for a feud? And I don't know what the answer is to that question. Curious what you guys think about it. But yeah, Brock Lesnar comes in, wrecks shop, and leaves, and does a minimal amount of bullying to Michael Cole and drops Corey Graves with 2 F5s. I assume that might be the last of Corey Graves tonight. I mean, at least he's got to be out for the first hour or so. So I imagine maybe somebody else will be brought in on commentary. Given that it is a PLE weekend, I'm sure the big part of the crew is there. So maybe Wade is there. Maybe Tessitore is there. Maybe Pat comes back. That would be a really tacky time to bring Pat back out, though, if I'm being honest. Matt Shepard, good to see you. No bread, no water, just meat. You're right, Teflon Don, man. You're absolutely right. And Dawsey, you have a point. I mean, yeah, the AJ and Punk and Seth Becky feud is definitely overworking, I think, to compensate for maybe that minimal effort in other feuds. This Wrestlepalooza is very interesting card to me, given the matches versus the proportion of the build. It is interesting because the Usos and the Vision have been going back and forth for weeks, and then Then we have, the feud we just mentioned with CM Punk and Rollins and their beautiful, wonderful, high achieving wives. And yeah. Other than those feuds, everything else is just kind of, oh, here's a match for you. And it's big time. So we'll see what happens, and we may or may not get a women's title match tomorrow. There's a lot of rumors going around about a triple threat between Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, and Nia Jax that may or may not happen tomorrow. But they actually made some merchandise with the entire card on it, early on, and that match was a part of it, but it hasn't been announced. So maybe it does get cut. And also Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer, like both of those. That match also. Granted, I give the most grace to that match because Naomi's developments in life, literally and physically and figuratively, obviously, contributed to that. They're still tending to Corey Graves at ringside as we come back. And while they do that, hello to Matt Shepard. I didn't say hi. Hello to Shamanica. Hey, Shamanica, good to see you. And Nico Thompson, thanks for hopping in tonight. By the way, everybody hit that like button while you're here. And if you haven't subbed to Mark by Wrestling, please sub. I'm trying to get to 10K by the end of the year. 10K and memberships and super chats. That's where I want to be by the end of the year. I'm not shaving anything off if we get it, but hopefully we can get there. So we'll keep on plugging away. So we're just getting a recap from the break with nobody on commentary, of course, because Michael Cole's still in the ring with the rest of the agents tending to the fallen Corey Graves, who took 2 F5s from Brock Lesnar to open the show. Brock Lesnar drops Corey and just screams into the camera, Cena, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for blood. Now, I'm curious, is he literal? Are they going to open that match at Wrestlepalooza with both of those guys bleeding? I'm very interested in that, if it's literal or if he's just, doing that. Thank you, Nico. I appreciate the encouragement. We're going to keep going for it. It's D-Day tomorrow. Okay. All right, then. Sean, that's a good question. Okay, Brock is walking backstage. We'll revisit that, though, about do you think Corey Graves is going to step back in the ring? I'll say I don't think he is with Brock Lesnar, but Brock has stopped. Oh, Heyman is back. Heyman and Bronson Reed. And there's Braun Breaker. Paul. No. No. Paul Heyman smirks at Brock Lesnar. Oh, Nick Aldis is here. I'll repeat that for those of you who aren't watching real quick. A&B Combos, what's up? Brock met eyes with Paul Heyman backstage. Paul smiled at him, and Brock said, "We should talk," and left the arena. My inner Han Solo or my inner Lando Calrissian, I got a bad feeling about this. Paul Heyman's agency is already stacked to the gills, and Brock Lesnar getting involved in the vision or just getting involved. This is a far more dangerous alliance than, pun intended, than what we may be thinking about. Oh, wow. The whole crowd is chanting for Michael Cole, who is making his way back to the desk alone. Cole's really selling the emotion of this. Good for him. Thank you, A&B. Cole's doing a really good job of acknowledging the fact that he's taken bumps before, but this felt different. A&B, Cole opened the show saying he was going to interview Brock, and he started walking back to down the aisle, and Brock came out and met him halfway, threw Cole over his shoulder and dragged him into the ring. And then Corey Graves tried to defend Michael Cole, and he ate 2 F5s as a result. So Corey is out, and Michael Cole is shaken up and on commentary alone now, as Charlotte, Flair, and Alexa Bliss, the tag champions, are making their way out to the ring to defend the titles against Chelsea Green and Alba Fyre. Yeah, and now we've also seen Brock come face-to-face with Paul Heyman backstage. All this in the first 10 minutes of the show. So, guys, I hate that I won't be sharing Wrestlepalooza with you guys live tomorrow, but we will have a lot to talk about come Monday. I'll tell you that. WWE can't help themselves but try to create conversational moments with their PLEs now, and I'm really starting to wonder what is in store tomorrow. The 4 Orangemen weren't the 4 Orangemen. I like that. It's kind of like the 4 Horsemen, but the 4 Orangemen, I'm with that, Dossie. I like that. The 4 Orangemen weren't as orange as usual. Also, much wisdom here from the 3 Kings. Paul Heyman is stacking a 99 overall team. Yes, he absolutely is. Because if you add Seth Rollins to that mix, and of course Becky Lynch, who is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. It's not me saying it. Sports Illustrated says it. That is an insane. That makes, hear me now, believe me later. That makes Evolution look like a 3-man band. This is crazy work. Crazy work. And when I say Evolution, I mean where they were before they all became Hall of Famers. Obviously, Randy and Batista came out to be the best, 2 of the best to ever do it, but we didn't know that when they were in Evolution yet. But whew, my gosh, sip of water for the working man. All right, everybody. Pledge allegiance to Chelsea Green. Now, does anybody know, is Piper Niven like hurt or something? She's not coming out with Chelsea and Alba. And I don't believe I don't believe that I saw Smackdown last week. So, other than clips and stuff. She is. Okay. Well, that's disappointing. I have high hopes for Piper Niven one of these days too. Maybe she could be a U.S. champion one day herself, because the Chelsea agenda is in full effect. That fantastic talent of a lady should absolutely be a world champion within the next year. Maybe that will be one of my 2026 predictions, because we're getting months away from me predicting, going back and revisiting my 2025 predictions, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to be over 5. It just goes to show you, we all think we know what's going on, but we don't. So sit back and enjoy the ride. Just not the one that The Rock's taking you on, because that ride just stops halfway and doesn't pick up ever again. Famous last words. Watch him show up tomorrow. All right. So tag match, tag titles on the line. Charlotte still sporting that knee brace. Been selling that knee injury, you know. Charlotte with the cheap shot to Alexa, but then eats a shot from Charlotte as well. Who do you guys have? Do you have the tag champs or the Secret Hervis coming along? JR, you're absolutely right. We're going to highlight JR Dugan here for a second. Maybe this can give Alba more screen time. Love Alba in the ring. I do think, there's always a silver lining in these obstacles, in these unfortunate circumstances that come to light, right? And Piper's injury, because she was kind of the right-hand woman for Chelsea, and Alba was added later. But Alba really is, going back to her Kaylee Ray days in NXT UK, she can do a lot in that ring. And she's already showing it here and there when she has opportunities to do so. And I think while Piper is out, she could really, really step it up. Chelsea and Alba doing a little bit of a DIY thing sitting there, but they both saluting themselves instead. So Nico, absolutely right. Piper, before she was in WWE, she spent some time in Stardom, some other places, and she's absolutely a physical wrestler. She's great. All three of those ladies are highly underrated with what we have seen on WWE TV. Now, I'm not criticizing creative because I'm really thankful that the three of them are also doing great character development as well, which is important to succeed in WWE, but they can also go in the ring. So I just hope they get opportunities to do that as well. Yes, Rick RT, thank you so much for the encouragement here. Please, everybody, like, share, subscribe. We, all of us here, at the coalition have our goals for the end of the year. I got 2 goals in mind. One, to get our memberships / super chats activated before the end of the year, and 2, to get to 10K. We're pretty close to 10K subscribers. I'd like to get there though. And, keep giving you guys good and better content as our coalition channels, myself at A&B Combos Wrestling Edition, keep moving higher, further, and faster all together. And and to continue to foster an optimistic and joy-filled perspective in the world of wrestling amidst a crowd of jaded and negative voices. We will be a place you can always come to and have a good time and feel good about liking wrestling. All right. So yeah, we're still on commercial break right now. But anyways, hope everybody's doing well tonight. Answer me this. 5 matches tomorrow at Wrestlepalooza. Which one are you most looking forward to? Hey, The Miz is here. Okay, so by the way, so I'm watching on Netflix, and we're still in an ad break, I'm guessing, for those of us watching locally. But The Miz has come down for commentary to join Michael Cole. Now, that makes me not feel so great about Carmelo Hayes' chances versus Sami Zayn later on. But if he's going to carry the show with Cole, I'm very interested to hear this. Oh, thanks, Nico. I appreciate it. This collection behind me is a microcosm of nearly 40 years of fandom. So it's some highlights of some of my favorite wrestling memories. The old school Intercontinental title being one of my favorite things. The Super Nintendo Royal Rumble video game behind me. A few Funkos. It's hard to tell who the Funkos are given the depth perception and distance and light and stuff. But yeah, and then of course, what you can't see because of my perspective is I've got a ton of Hasbro figures as well that were really instrumental in me, just developing my fandom. Yeah, I mean, Miz ought to be a good commentator. He's so well versed in TV, coming from the real world and the challenges. And he did that, episode of Fear Factor. Anyway, but he's a good host. And he's already. I don't think we're back from break yet, but even he's already like, don't think I'm gonna be here to protect you, Cole. He's like, if Brock comes out again, you better run because I'm gonna run. All right, we're back. Miz is already, get your energy up, Cole. Come on. Do I believe Brock will join Seth and Heyman? So here's the thing. I don't know. I just don't see Brock playing well with others, But is Heyman just gonna be like a sports agent for WWE and just have individual relationships with different wrestlers? I don't know how that's gonna go. Justin mentioning the clowns. You know what, man? I don't know. If we get Psycho Clown and Pagano showing up tonight to confront the Wyatts, it's going to be something else. I gotta say this, Sean, talking about Miz's commentary, I could absolutely see this being an audition for him. Miz 100%. I could see him succeeding the Corey Graveses, the JBLs, the Booker T's. He's absolutely of that ilk that he could be, a commentator after his in-ring career and stay with WWE. I absolutely think, and honestly, I think Miz has the right kind of heel attitude that he'd be a really good heel commentator. I don't want to say as good as a Bobby Heenan, but I do think he could do really well. All right. Charlotte getting some work done on Alba Fyre here. And the crowd is behind her. It's good to hear the crowd behind Charlotte. She's earned it at this point. Miz already planting seeds on commentary of without the titles, Charlotte and Alexa may not stay friends. Again, that's great commentary storytelling here. Do I miss Paul Heyman on commentary? I got to tell you, Justin, I've always preferred Heyman as a manager rather than a commentator. He wasn't a bad commentator. He wasn't bad at the job, but he just wasn't my style. His constant obnoxiousness, works better for me as a manager than a commentator. But he wasn't bad at the job. Swanton by Alba. Chelsea going for the cover. Only 2. All right. Chelsea and Alba going for a double team on Alexa, but here comes Charlotte with a double chop block. And now a double blockbuster and natural selection. And that's 3. Okay. Charlotte pins Chelsea clean with the natural selection. So the champs retain. Not too bad. I mean, natural selection is one of Charlotte's finishers. I don't know. I always want good things for Chelsea Green and her faction. So, but the besties, the Alliance of Convenience, retain. All right, Street Profits and BFAB backstage. BFAB's trying to mediate between Street Profits. I should also point out that Tez is in a suit and Angelo Dawkins is in a hoodie. BFAB has to cut her speech short because Mia Yim just interrupted to say we need to go talk to Nick Aldis about a tag match against Julia and Kiana. So now the Profits are left alone together. You're right about that, Sean. Oh boy. Oh. Bo Dallas sighting. Oh. Tez is back. Yo. Oh no. Oh man, here comes Rowan. He just dropped both Street Profits backstage. Oh, and Uncle Howdy with the yeah. Shout out to Brody Lee, Luke Harper. Man. Okay, well, that's interesting. So, recap for those of you who aren't watching. After BFAB leaves, Tez tells Dawkins, "Hey, we're good." They do a little handshake, and he says, "I'm going to go." But I want to point out during the handshake, Dawkins' expression never changes. Never changes. Tez says, "I'm going to go talk to Nick Aldis about getting that tag title match." Dawkins never said a word. Dawkins never said a word, never changed his facial expression. And as Tez walked away, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, he's not masked, comes up and just says, your brother doesn't listen to what you have to say. And I can't do the voice, but I have the beard, so I might as well try. And just when you think he's starting to twist and turn Dawkins a little bit, Tez came running back and walked up Bo Dallas right up against the wall and said, "You got something to say?" Just starts threatening him. But that's when Rowan showed up and dropped both guys. So the feud between the Prophets and the Wyatts continues, but man, oh man, in between the lines, and I mean, it's not that far in between the lines if you're watching at all, you got to notice Dawkins looks like he's going to a dark place. Now, in the past, sometimes WWE has bait and switched us where it looks like one guy's going to turn heel and really it's the other one. But, happy birthday, Amber. Congratulations. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. But yeah, I am intrigued in this. They're giving the Street Profits something to do. So that's always good. Having something to work with on screen and everything, which is great. However, it remains to be seen what the what do you call it? What the finish, what the resolution of that story will be, So we'll see where it goes. But you do have my attention, Wyatt 6 and Street Profits. So we'll see what happens there as that story continues. And if it splits up Dawkins and Tez, I just hope they both can move onward and upward, because the story is tale as old as time, especially in WWE, is when you split up a tag team. Case in point, no greater example than Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. They split up the Rockers. Check out the shirt, the barbershop. That's when they broke up. This was a coincidence. They go their separate ways. Marty goes down. Shawn's running NXT now. So it's a far different trajectory. Now, tons of things happened in between those things to get where we are today. But nevertheless, it's quite often when tag teams split up, one of them sticks around and one of them has a bit of a hard fall. The British Bulldogs, you had Davey Boy Smith move on to higher heights, and Dynamite Kid. Granted, he had some injuries, went away. And then I try to think of some of the others that have split up. I mean, sometimes everybody in the tag team just disappears too. Look at the Bushwhackers, Demolition. I mean, who else? I'm looking around for my different guys. I mean, you look at they were called the Twin Towers, the Big Boss Man and Akeem. Big Boss Man went on to bigger things as well. Yeah, Sean and Marty. And, Marty, they did some things with Marty at first, but part of it too was him just not being able to beat his own demons too. But he was Intercontinental Champion. He was the first person to beat Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental title. Oh my gosh. R-Truth is operating a makeshift merch table with ESPN logo, wearing a neck brace. Oh, and Los Garza's just rolled up on him. He says, "This is a genius bar." True says he's showing people how to use the ESPN app, which is not beating the allegations about people saying it's hard to figure out. By the way, it's not hard to figure out. Oh, they put the QR code right on the screen. Man, this is just a commercial. That's cap. Most big providers do not. I haven't seen a segment like this since the $9.99 WWE Network days. Okay. Here comes Fraxium. If you already have Netflix, by the way, the cheapest option, if you're going to have to pay money to start watching these ESPN PLEs, is to pay for a VPN monthly. Oh, the Vision are here. They listened to me on the prediction show. The Vision are here and they're wrecking the SmackDown tag team division. Man, the Bronze are here and they just wrecked Fraxium and they're in the ring and here comes Heyman. I know, Sean, I have YouTube TV as well. I was really hoping they'd be on the list, but they're not as of yet. All right. My name is Paul Heyman. I agree, Sean. They might as well put the tag titles on the Bronze. Oh, Paul talking Samoan trash to the Usos. I don't know what that means. Fraxium is back up. Fraxium is back up, and the Vision does not know. And they come off the top, double drop kicks off the top, and send the Vision packing. Suicide dive onto each one, takes down Breaker. Reed's still on his feet. So they do a second suicide dive. Oh, Fraxium is just jumping, suicide diving off each side. Okay. Fraxium said, this isn't Raw. We have real tag teams on SmackDown. I think Nick Aldis is about to tap into his inner Teddy Long. Here we go. Vision versus Fraxium right now. Bronson Reed does not look happy about it. Braun Breaker frighteningly kind of looks excited to do it. So, all right, here we go. Tag team match, playa. It wouldn't be SmackDown without it. So here we are. I absolutely have the Vision winning this match, but still, I'm looking forward to seeing what we get here, because these are four great talents. So, if you're watching along, feel free to hit that like button. By the way, subscribe. We're trying to build our base all times, and yeah, absolutely. So, okay, we're on break right now, but they're trying to get the match set up right now in the in between. So yeah, tomorrow Wrestlepalooza, man. So we're starting off the night with Cena and Lesnar. What seems to be confirmed online is that the show will be main evented by Cody and Drew, which is very interesting. Normally, I wouldn't find that, all that controversial at all because it's the WWE title that should be the main event match. But Cody and Drew was so haphazardly thrown together for tomorrow. And we have had the CM Punk, AJ Lee, Seth and Becky tag match pushed on multiple shows over the past few weeks. And so now that's, I'm assuming, just going to co-main event the show or go on right before last. Will we see something more out of the finish of that match? That's what I'm curious about, But I don't know realistically what it would be. And WWE say, we're all about surprises. You don't want to miss things. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. So we have let's see what else do we have going on here. So we still, again, Michael Cole and Miz are on commentary tonight after an injury to Corey Graves, eating 2 F5s from Brock Lesnar at the beginning of the show. And again, just want to point out there, if you guys weren't watching before, you're just joining the stream now. Brock Lesnar coming face to face with Paul Heyman backstage and saying we ought to talk sometime or we got to catch up. No likey, no like that. So we'll see what develops from there as well. So yeah, tomorrow we've got Wrestlepalooza on ESPN. Again, Cena, Lesnar, Cody, Drew. The AJ, Punk, Beth, Seth and Becky mixed tag match. The Vision versus the Usos, Stephanie Vaquera versus Io Sky. So a lot of really high potential for great in-ring action tomorrow. So make sure you guys have yourself situated to watch that show tomorrow. Should be a really good time. So let's see here. It would be interesting if they are going to do the draft at some point, Justin. Using an ESPN broadcast to announce it is not a terrible idea, because that is, quite a sports-based convention for WWE is the draft. So, although I'm just not all that, I don't know. I'm a little over the draft because they have so poorly handled it over the years. Like they really have not had a great draft since like 2005 for like 20 years since the first one. So we'll see what comes from that. But the whole deal with the draft, I wouldn't. I like the idea of them moving people around to give us some fresher matchups every once in a while, but the draft always has this idea that everything's going to stay permanent, and then they move people anyways. And so, if they do that, I just wish they had a more continuity and a through line. Like we have the transfer portal, or at least announce that they made a deal, And if someone does show up unexpected, like work that into the story, that kind of stuff. But after a while, they just kind of give up. So, Marcus Baker, good to see you. Thank you for being here, man. As we're watching Smackdown tonight. So, yeah, we've got the Vision here tonight who have shown up, and they attacked Fraxium on the way. I don't know if they had a match with someone else or what, but yeah. So, Braun Breaker lower in the straps. So anyway, yeah, impromptu tag match between the Vision and Fraxium. So, let's see. Sophie says if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, AEW is screwed. Yeah, I'm not sure how much truth there is to the rumors that Netflix is going to be is a serious buyer for Warner Brothers Discovery. But someone who I did hear was a serious buyer for Warner Brothers is Paramount. And that doesn't seem like a huge deal, but Paramount definitely has major connections to TKO through the UFC. So either way, if Warner Brothers gets sold to somewhere else, AEW may end up with a pretty big obstacle in trying to find a place for their distribution. But there is still Amazon, I think, for them. And I know Amazon already carries the AEW pay-per-views, so maybe they can make their home there. We'll see. Varna, do you care to elaborate with WWE being screwed? Because I certainly don't see it that way. I'm curious what you mean by that. Uh-oh. Bronson Reed coming up for a tsunami, but Nathan Frazier may have been saved by Axiom. Is Axiom going to try to Spanish fly Bronson Reed? Oh, it doesn't. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Bronson Reed just threw Axiom off the top, defending the Spanish fly right into a spear from Braun Breaker. Hits a tsunami anyway. And that's 3. What a great finish. What a great finish by the Vision. Great spear, great tsunami. And then Heyman's back on the mic announcing, I guess, going to announce them as winners. Oh, now he's going to resume the promo. Oh, Usos are talking. Usos are an indie. Plug, and they've been on SportsCenter. Mm. Uso Penitentiary. Okay. Missing those Usos. Okay. Usos found their teeth. Granted, it was a satellite interview, so it was missing a little something there, but still, it was good. I liked it. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. Nia Jax is here. Okay. Nia, of course, attacked Tiffany and Jade last week. ESPN Wrestlepalooza ad. Boy, they're coming strong with the instructions on how to sign up for the service. This is taking me back to 10 years ago with the WWE Network. Justin asks, I wonder if the Usos lose the match. Do you think Jey Uso snaps, attacks everyone? Just a thought. I do think a Jey, I won't call it a heel turn, but I do think a Jey Uso crash out is probably on the way. He's been carrying so much stress lately. And so I think whatever happens tomorrow will amplify that for sure. And what it ends up being, we'll see. Yes, Three Kings, Nia Jax in approximately 3 minutes. Did somebody say 3 minutes? Remember, 3-minute warning. Speaking of Usos. But yes, Nia Jax will be here when we return. Let's see if she does confirm that triple threat. We'll know for sure if that ends up getting added to the card tomorrow. I do want to let you guys know that your coalition is here for you as we have been doing predictions and stuff. I already reached out to them earlier today. In the event that match does get added to the card, all three of us actually picked Jade Cargill to win. Who would have thought? So it won't have any bearing on the prediction standings for sure. But anyway, I've got some ideas up my sleeve, and see if maybe we can make coalition predictions a little more interesting going forward. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, all right. We are in the countdown from commercial break. So yeah, we'll see Nia Jax back. We still haven't seen Sami Zayn versus Carmelo Hayes yet tonight. Someone asked earlier if we thought Trick Williams might show up. That would be fantastic. But Trick definitely gonna have his hands full. Next Tuesday on NXT, Trick Williams versus Obafemi, title for title. And the Twitter streets are aflame with salty TNA talent not happy about this match being made. So who knows if someone shows up to ruin that title match on Tuesday or to stake their claim on either the NXT or TNA title. The top contender for the TNA title, Mike Santana, was actually jumped last night by Ridge Holland of NXT out of nowhere on Impact last night. So things are getting very interesting in that developmental level of WWE/TNA. The plot is thickening for sure. Speaking of the plot thickening, cannot wait to see where we go with the Street Profits and Wyatt Six after we saw them tonight. Dawkins is certainly channeling a little bit of Sithness, if you will. So just in his body language and his presentation. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we're almost back, and then yeah, we'll return. So been an entertaining show tonight so far, though. We still also have a contract signing with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. We'll see where that takes us as well. Yeah, I missed 3-minute warning too, Justin. Those dudes were so agile. Rosie and Jamal. Jamal, of course. I think it was Jamal, of course, went on to be Umaga as well. Justin, that's a good question. Talk about heat, because nobody is going to want to see Ridge Holland if Obafemi and Trick Williams are going at it. All right, we're showing the recap of the Usos on SportsCenter. One thing I heard, Drew McIntyre talking to Chael Sonnen. Okay. Triple H on First Take. Yeah, by the way, Stephen A. Smith gave his top 5 wrestlers of all time, and it was the ultimate troll job. So funny. Well, as funny as Stephen A. Smith is. There's AJ Lee, CM Punk on Pardon My Take. Levels to this, guys. WWE is all over ESPN this week. And I just heard, too, that Seth Rollins has like a deal with some of the NFL shows on ESPN for this season. This is wild, man. I never in my life did I think WWE would be so, or pro wrestling would be so infiltrated into legitimate sports broadcasting. I know people will hate on current ESPN compared to the old days, but still, this is a big, big thing. Cody Rhodes on SportsCenter as well. I heard, though, I heard that the people, yes, Sean, Rosie was Roman's brother. Superhero in training. What was I going to say? Sorry. Oh, I'd heard that the Usos are apparently like really popular with ESPN staff. Like they were like all marking out for them, which is pretty cool. I love that. I love to hear stories like that. Really? Masato Tanaka, Justin? Son training with Natty and TJ? That's cool, man. Love that. Yep, we got that contract signing coming up later on tonight. They are still plugging. Who do you think goes to the table? Because that's got to happen, right? All right, who's here? Curse you, Def Rebel. I don't know. It's Nia Jax. Come on, man. All right, Three Kings. Nia's here. She looks confident. Dro, you didn't ask me a question. What am I supposed to answer? If it's about Brock winning tomorrow, I did predict that Brock would win tomorrow. I predicted that on Just Alex's channel yesterday. So we got a recap of who's going to get the RKO to the table. Oh, you think Randy is going to interfere? Okay, I'm here for that, Justin, for sure. But yeah, Nia interferes last week. The title match, and Nia on the mic. Teflon, the queen is here. All right, all right. Let's see what Nia's got to say. What are you sick of, Nia? Oh, they're in Toledo. I'm with you, Nia. I've always hated Toledo as a wrestling town. The last time WWE was there, they sat on their hands for the whole show. I'll give them credit. They're much hotter tonight. Nia's sick of the women's division. Let's make one thing clear. Nia says she is the alpha female of the women's division. Mick, okay, wow. She's mocking Tiffy's voice. Put her in a Tiffy timeout. Sup, Tyrell? Good to see you, man. Dang. Okay, so basically saying Jade is all looks and no ability. I mean, they're booing Nia pretty heavily. Mm. I feel like we're waiting for an interruption here that's not coming. And there it is. Here's Tiffy. Now, Tiffy looks. I'm trying to. The camera's zooming in. No, she doesn't look like she's in ring gear. Tiffy says nobody wants you near the title. Tiffy's walking to the ring. Officials coming to stop her. Oh, there's Jade. I agree, Sean. Tiffany does not work as a baby face. I mean, I think she's much more obnoxious. Like, I mean, she's watchable. She's a good heel, but Jade just dropped some officials on her way down to the ring. Jade's wearing something between Shawn Michaels and Demolition. It's strange. I'm afraid of these guys putting their hands on her. Nick Aldis is out here. Are we going to get the announcement? Next week. All right. Well, they announced the match, but it's next Friday on SmackDown, not at the PLE. So that's okay. I think we'd probably been more critical if they just slapped it on less than 24 hours before the show. So they get a week to plug it. All right. So the title match is next week. R-Truth now talking to the MCMGs and Ray Phoenix on how to sign up for ESPN. The optics of having Truth being the one telling you how to sign up is really kind of a bad look, isn't it? Because they'll never know what he's doing. Oh, Sean. Okay. It's in Orlando. That makes sense. Ooh, I wonder if NXT people will show up then, because No Mercy is the day after in Fort Lauderdale, I think, or Miami. Bro, I woke up and I'm in the $9.99 WWE Network nightmare right now. I can't believe they have had multiple backstage segments dedicated to signing up for the ESPN service. Why is he putting his, and now Truth just put his phone in the toaster. Oh my gosh. Well, at least Truth still has a job, right, everybody? All right, here comes Mello. And Miz is geeking out here on commentary, putting over Mello. So here we go. All right, so we got Carmelo Hayes versus Sami Zayn for the U.S. title. Drop those predictions. Who you think's got this? Do we have a new U.S. champion tonight, or does Sami retain? I gotta think that Miz might overzealously cost him. ESPN is included in Spectrum now. That's wonderful. A and B combos. Congratulations to everyone who's on Spectrum. I shouldn't feel salty about it because I'm so totally going to use Netflix for this tomorrow. But it's okay. Oh man, I do hope they get it worked out with a regular provider though, because I do watch a lot of sports, so I wouldn't mind having the additional benefit. Oh boy, now we're getting the ad for next year's WrestleMania back in Vegas. Nico thinks Sammy's retaining. Okay. Sean, you remember the Uso? That's funny. The Usos advertising $9.99, and now here they are for the ESPN days. It's pretty wild, huh? That they were here for both business deals. Oh man! All right, commercial break, everybody. So we'll have the U.S. title match when we're back. I'll tell you what, though, we've got the U.S. title match, and we've got the contract signing. Now we're only halfway through the show, so I feel like they're going to. They're either going to give Mello and Sammy a lot of time, or I don't know. There might be other matches for us to see. You know, we'll see what happens. Okay, Wesley Franklin, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Justin says Sammy with DIY's help. Okay, yeah, a little get your lick back from NXT Homecoming. For those of you guys who didn't join me for NXT Homecoming, DIY took on Trick and Mello, which was a great match and a great time had by all, except for DIY who lost the match. But they lost because Miz showed up and attacked Johnny Gargano behind the ref's back and helped Mello get the win. So yeah, we may see a receipt coming from DIY onto Mello as a result of Miz's treachery, his dirty deeds, his underhandedness, if you will. Sean Swaby chiming in. Triple H really has lost his muscles and all the hard work he's put in physically since his retirement in that cardiac event. Yeah, well, listen, man, heart attacks change your way of life. I mean, that's just the solid gospel truth right there, man. You can't stay jacked forever. At some point, you have to make the choice just to be healthy. And sometimes the healthy thing is to reduce that muscle mass and carry around what you can carry. And honestly, I know that Rock is getting, I know Dwayne is getting some more diverse movie roles now, but I believe that he's probably looking out for himself a little bit in that way too. He doesn't look like a monster anymore. He just looks like a normal human being. Well, a normal human being that's in very, very good shape, I should say. Let me qualify that. But yeah, he doesn't look, juiced to the gills anymore or anything. So, and I'm not accusing him, but anyway, he doesn't look like the guy who flexes his bicep and breaks out of a cast. And you know what? As those guys get older, like as the passage of time happens, and you're on this earth, longer and longer, yeah, you embrace those changes so you can stick around longer. Yes, sir, Rick RT. The juice no good for the heart. Absolutely. So if that's present at any point in your life, I mean, there's not a lot of guys. Not a lot. I mean, listen, that's one thing about this passion we all share. A lot of these guys do not live very long, which is just a shame. And if they do, they're often carrying some kind of scar, whether it's physical, mental, whatever. So whether it affects their mobility, their mentality, or just their body composition, hopefully as we go along, we see some people retiring younger and making some safer choices. Hopefully we'll be in a position where some of our heroes are with us a little bit longer and they have a better quality of life. I hope the best for all of them for that. And hopefully Hunter and Rock, both in their own ways, will be with us for a long time. Yeah, Sting looks great. Yeah, Sean, or the early 2000s. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that era Rock, Hollywood Rock. Honestly, I know people have mixed feelings about the gimmick of Hollywood Rock, but his look at that time might have been one of his healthiest looks. The When he was not as swole. Yeah, yeah, Kurt, man, my heart goes out to Kurt when you sit here and talk to us about when I recommend, by the way, I recommend everybody, if you ever follow Chris Van Vliet on YouTube, he does amazing amazing interviews with lots of talent from from multiple companies. But his interview with Kurt Angle was really good. Kurt Angle, first of all, went on record, said he doesn't like being called, and I know some of you guys are familiar with this term, but Perk Angle, which was reference to his time in TNA. He's actually revealed that he was most proud of his time in TNA in terms of his problems, like his substance problems and stuff. But no, that wasn't what he was proud of. He was proud of some of the matches and the work because he is actually there for a lot longer than he was in WWE. But yeah, it's a great interview though, and very revealing about the cost of working the way that he did. And so anyway, yeah, Kurt was just a fantastic performer in every echelon of what wrestling asks for. So yeah, I hope he gets everything he needs in life. Yeah, Sean, that steroid stigma, mainly it's still the echoes and the residue of that federal trial with the WWF in the early 90s and baseball, the demonization of it in the Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds days as well. The culture, I say American culture, it's the only culture I know the best. We have a tendency to really overreact about culture issues. And, it's, I think if we could be a little more nuanced and have more responsible conversations, we can arrive at a better place and also make people feel safer to be open about that kind of stuff. Um, anyway, yeah. So yeah, no, so many wrestlers have lied about it. And also like, some are just really better at hiding it other than how their body looks. But, you know, so yeah, it's a sad thing too, especially I think about it in wrestling the most because one, because it's probably one of my biggest passions, but two, also, the use of steroids is to accelerate the healing process, right? And the recovery process. And, after everything these guys put their body through, um, the deadly combinations of substances, especially like in the 80s and 90s that guys were putting themselves through, just took too many of them from us. And I'm glad. I have mixed feelings about things like them not doing house shows anymore, right? Or stuff like that. But the positives for those things really do outweigh the negatives of caring for the well-being and giving vacations and time off and stuff to the performers, and not running them into the ground. All right, Mello and Sammy got it going. Miz is out here plugging Jimmy Johns. Always shilling. Miz always shilling, man. Never stops working. By the way, I don't watch a lot of AEW, but something that I was encouraged to see recently, Kyle Fletcher did an interview with someone and really put over the Miz. And I'm like, I love to see when wrestlers openly acknowledge the good in the competition. And he said, Miz has got, all the tools and he's a fantastic promo. Anyway, so yeah, love that. It's nice to see the actual wrestlers not be tribal. Or when Triple H returned in early 02 after the quad injury. Yeah, Sean, he was enormous for his frame. Yeah, I still remember that very well. Yeah. In retrospect, not a great look. Also, that leather denim jacket voice. It's iconic for Triple H, but it's so funny how iconic looks can be in wrestling that don't work out in the real world. I think about how great certain looks looked in wrestling, and I'm like, I can't wear that to the barbershop. What am I doing? Can't dress like Shawn Michaels and go to church. You kidding me? Not even Jesus, Shawn Michaels. Oh man, springboard backwards leg drop, the Saquon Barkley, if you will. Mello out here stunting. That was such a clean leg drop too. Man. All right. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, that's the thing about the steroid culture, right? And I do believe, I genuinely believe that very few, if at all, was there any kind of expectation or forcing of steroid use in the WWE at least. Even for all that we know about the old man and everything that went down during his watch, I don't think at any point they were like, you have to do steroids. I think it was just one of those professionally competitive assumptions, is that when you see Hulk Hogan on top or you see the Ultimate Warrior on top, and you're like, I have to be bigger to be on top. And there's just this unwritten rule, this assumption when you see 2002 Triple H on top, and you're like, and maybe somebody does tell you get in better shape, or hit the gym or something. And yeah, guys will take that shortcut because the better you look on TV, the better chances you might have at getting put on TV. Getting ahead, right? It just clicked with me as he said it on commentary. Putting Miz on commentary not only helps for this match, but they're in Ohio, which is Miz territory. So he's probably over as a babyface, which is going to be really interesting if he does interfere in this match for Melo and it backfires. I wonder how Toledo will take to that. Miz out here on commentary saying that Melo needs to listen to him more. Hey, puppy. I'll tell you what, man, Miz is working hard to put Melo over, though. He's absolutely talking over his skills, his ability and stuff. Someone asked if I thought there would be any surprises. Let me go back to the chat really quick. Just now, Cranes asked, which match do you think Triple H is going to swerve with at Wrestlepalooza? If by swerve you mean give us a different outcome than what we're predicting, I think the most likely outcome to me is the most likely swerve. Probably the most swerve would be Seth and Becky beating Punk and AJ, I think. But I do think that would be the most likely, but that's not what I picked in my predictions. In my predictions, I actually picked Io Sky to beat Stephanie Vaquer. So that's me putting my money where my mouth is. But now that you're asking me now, I think that would be the easiest swerve because you have, I think the mixed tag would be the easiest swerve because you could tell the story either way. But I think you could have a really effective swerve by having Io win, especially the way that especially with the theory that I posited on Tuesday night that Asuka could help Io win without Io's knowledge. That lets Io still look like a babyface. Stephanie Vaquer gets screwed over, so she doesn't lose clean, and then you have extra heel heat on Asuka. All right, Sammy's working over Melo here. Ten punches in the corner. Sammy going up to the second rope. Getting a tornado DDT here. Oh, man. And Melo sold that thing so hard. Right on his head. Only two. Melo's back up. Man. Oh. Michinoku driver from Sammy almost gets three. Right after Melo charged right into the corner. Nobody home. Quick little sequence there. All right, chain wrestling here, going back and forth. Oh, big knee from Melo. Melo's going up top. It absolutely is a busy weekend for wrestling fans, for sure. I mean, because you got a lot of fans. Oh man, Frog Splash eats the knees for Melo there. Yeah, if you're trying to watch AEW and WWE this weekend, you're gonna have a busy day on Saturday for sure. Oh wow, just a nasty super kick from Melo counters the Luva kick from Sammy, but he can't make the cover, and Sammy falls face down as we go to commercial. How are you guys enjoying SmackDown tonight? Tell me. So this is a question I will ask you guys. So if you guys are new to Marked by Wrestling, I share a lot of the same questions and interactive opportunities like A and B do. Thank you guys for those of you who hang out with A and B that came to hang out with me tonight. But be thinking, what is going to be your marked moment for tonight? That's something we do on this channel. What is your marked moment? What is the standout moment from SmackDown that's going to stick in your brain that really like makes you tap into that inner wrestling fan who's like, what did I just see? Wow. Like that really gets you back into that place. So think about what those moments might be. If there is one for you tonight, and by the end of the show, let's revisit that and let me know what your marked moment is for me. I got to say, one that's in the running for me tonight was that it was really quick, but it was that segment between Melo gets a close to. A couple of contenders for me tonight is Brock Lesnar running into Paul Heyman again, and also the segment backstage with the Wyatts and the Street Profits as well. Melo's asking Daphne and LaShawn, the ref, to check the replay. Melo's starting to get frustrated here that he can't put Sammy away. Yeah, I do think tonight's been better. Other than R-Truth's ESPN commercials that are happening backstage, everything's been really solid. Oh, Sammy just catches him right in a power bomb. Only two. You're right, Sean. He did pull that swerve with Seth. Yeah, I mean, like you never really know what's coming down the pike until we like to pretend that wrestling is predictable a lot, but we don't really ever know for sure until it's right in front of us. All right, some booyah punches going on here between Melo and Sammy. Melo and Sammy have good in-ring chemistry together. They're having a good match. Double clothesline, double down. I just realized from the window I'm watching that we're still probably in a commercial break, but I'm just letting you guys know what's happening here. And let that be a testament to Melo and Sammy because they've been working hard through the commercials in this match. So the Toledo crowd getting a good match, getting their money's worth. Well, I don't know if they're getting their money's worth given how much tickets prices are, but that being said, they're certainly getting great value. Yeah, picture in picture is tough. I appreciate the attempt, but it is, yeah, sometimes it's really distracting. Sammy would, oh gosh. Did he fully connect with that? Okay, so Melo did a springboard DDT onto the apron, but but Sami's hand got jammed on the apron on the way down. Frog splash from Melo. Only 2. I think Melo's arm might have been messed up too. I want to see that DDT spot again. It looks like both of their hands got jammed. Let's see. Oh, which one is he selling? Hold on. No, it's this. Yeah, when he went down, he landed on his arm when he went down on the apron. Actually, but Sami's selling the other arm now. So he's probably fine. He's selling the arm that actually got caught on the rope on the way down. Nope, intercepted the first 48. Blue Thunder Bomb. Nope, reversed. Boom. First 48, the code breaker. Only 2. Great near falls in this match for sure. Sean, let's see what you got to say here. Somebody mentioned this the other day about Vince not overpressing families while TKO is considering the fact that WWE is still a PG product. TKO is not pricing for families. They're trying to price for the millionaires and billionaires. Why is WWE still PG? Yeah, I mean, they'll keep increasing the price until people stop paying it. I mean, that's how businesses like this operate. Like they're going to have to hit their balloon is going to have to pop at some point for them to start lowering the prices. Man, springboard DDT from Melo, and Sami is not looking good here. Melo's up top. Nope, nobody home, but he rolls through. A boot to the face and a blue thunder bomb. Oh, wow. Sami wins with a blue thunder bomb. That's like seeing a shooting star. It doesn't happen very often, but it's still a pretty sight to see. All right. Well, Sami retains. No Miz interference, no DIY interference, just a clean L for Melo. Don't know how I feel about that. It was a great match. Really, really good back and forth. A good, clean, U.S. Open title match. But I hate it for Melo a little bit. I feel like he's always one step forward, 2 steps back. He's probably still going to be doing the tag team thing with Miz for a little bit longer before he can really break out and advance on his own, I'm guessing. But Sami celebrating with the U.S. title. Melo looking frustrated on the mat. Understandably so. Sophie, it's been a really solid show tonight. Pretty deadly backstage with here's Damian Priest looking for Aleister Black. I agree, Sean. Haluva kick. Well, I have a counterpoint to that in a second. Uh-oh. Kit Wilson's about to get dropped by Damian Priest. Oh, gosh. Damian Priest literally just threw Kit Wilson through a wall. And now he's demanding Aleister Black. Okay. Well, Priest said, all right, Aleister Black, I'll have it your way. I'm not going to be good or bad. I'm just going to come and give you some punishment. Sean, in terms of impact, I agree that Haluva kick works better as a setup move to the Blue Thunder Bomb. But one smart thing I'll say that a lot of wrestlers have abided by that have had long careers are implementing finishers that they can do on anybody. And Sami's going to have a lot harder time doing the Blue Thunder Bomb, say on a Bronson Reed or a Brock Lesnar or somebody else, than he would a haluva kick. A haluva kick you can pretty much do on anybody, and still maintain that impact. And I think that's why you see more moves like the RKO, or Aleister Black's kick, the crossroads. A lot of moves that have that versatility to them as finishers. Those are the ones that tend to endure over time. The stunner is a great example, and makes a little sense why The Rock ended up using the people's elbow a bit more as well. A little more versatile as well. So. Yeah, the spear and the frog splash, Teflon Don, excellent add-ons to that conversation for sure. Yeah, both great moves that are versatile and can be utilized in a lot of ways. Pretty much, a lot of moves that are just coming off the top rope are pretty good for that. Nico asked, "Who are your top 5 Cena rival matches of all time?" So, if I'm just going off rivals, my favorite Cena feuds, I'm not going to rank them because I just don't think I can do it that quickly, but I will name 5 of them. Five rivals for Cena that I've enjoyed. CM Punk, absolutely. Let me think, because Punk is definitely one. They didn't have a lot of matches, but I'm going to say Shawn Michaels, their WrestleMania 23 match and the 1 hour match they did on Raw was really good. So Punk, Shawn, I'm thinking Edge. I got to throw Edge in there as well. AJ Styles, gosh, I can't believe I forgot AJ. And let's see. Who would be number 5? Who would be number 5? I don't want to say Brock. I'm trying to think of someone else. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was a great feud as well. That popped up during the U.S. title feud. So yeah. Top 5 least John Cena rivals. Oh, okay. My least favorite John Cena rivals. I'll think about these. People Power, right? John Laurinaitis. The Nexus. Didn't care for that either. Let's see. What else did I not like? Did he wrestle Khali at one point? Great Khali. Trying to remember. Let's see. K-Fed. Honestly, at the time, I kind of marked out for K-Fed beating Cena because I did not like Cena at that time. Yeah, I'll have to think on 3 more feuds that I didn't care for with Cena. I didn't particularly care for the Rock feud. I gotta say, not one of my favorites. That's for sure. At least second in a lifetime. But I don't know, the whole build for it, not super great for me. I'll keep thinking for 2 more Cena feuds that I didn't care for. Kane, that one, the whole rise above the hate one. And The feud that I did enjoy, but I hated the match, the way the match went, was his first Bray Wyatt feud. I actually was liking that feud until I feel like they screwed up the finish to it. So that's an honorable mention. All right, part 2 of this Joe Tessitore narrated bit here. Cena wins the title WrestleMania 21 against JBL. That double AA with Big Show and Edge is crazy. Hey, there's Batista. Mark Henry somewhere in the middle. Love the salmon jacket promo, of course, but that's what I remember most. Now, Cena doing the media tours over the years. Oh, so now we're gonna explore Brock in the UFC. Wow, they're showing the UFC footage. I think that was one of the Frank Mir fights. Heath Herring fight, I remember that. Randy Couture. Those early Brock fights were crazy. That pre diverticulitis Brock. Third ever UFC fight, wins the heavyweight title, which says a lot about the heavyweight division. But also, listen, Brock beat Randy Couture. Like, oh, the Zack Ryder story was awful, Dulcie. Yeah, that was close to the Kane. That was along the same lines as the Kane timeline, right? Well, TKO too. I mean, I'm sure TKO's lending that footage as well. And if this seems familiar, the current feud, April 2012, Brock just shows up, F5s, and leaves. It's exactly what he did here 13 years ago to start that feud. The Extreme Rules match. One wrestler I wish Cena had a feud with in his career but didn't. That's a good question. Cena's been around for a long time. Let me think on that one. This probably isn't my final answer, but somebody who's just coming up now that I'd like to have seen Cena battle with is Trick Williams. I feel like both of their charismas could make for some entertaining feuds. Yes, indeed. A&B combos, do not forget to smash that like button. That's right. Smash. Demolition smash that like button. Oh, now I remember this match, this splattering of SummerSlam 2014 when Brock just obliterated Cena. That was such a great match. Oh, they counted 69 strikes to Cena. Man, that is a squash match, by the way. You guys want to know what a squash match looks like? That is a squash match. Yeah, Dulcie, I would have loved Cena and Sheamus to hold the IC title this year, man. And I wish we could have gotten either of those. Okay. Brock says he's going to screw up his retirement party. Just like he said to Hogan, he's going to say, party's over, Grandpa. No, Sophie, I did not see Jordan Grace's tweet. So we've got the contract signing left to do, and that should do it for SmackDown tonight. Oh. Io and Stephanie Velcro, Women's World Championship. Very interested in that match to see how that one goes. And Drew and Cody, world title. Bringing up that Drew and Cody were tag champions together at one point is that's wild. Hitting that history. Drew beating Randy last week. And Cody returns as a result. And here we are tonight with a contract signing to end the show. I got to say, with some of the developments of like Brock and the Vision showing up tonight, I hope that we get something special with this segment tonight, because contract signings, they've been doing these for like close to 40 years. And if they're just going to cut promos at each other and then somebody get put to the table, I can't believe I'm kind of ho-humming about a possible table spot. But also, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's coming. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Shamanika, I'm hopeful that we get some surprises too. I mean, they absolutely do have things, positioned in a way that it could happen. I just don't, I'm just curious as to what it could be that could really be a big surprise at this point, because of all the people they brought back. And I mean, it could just be I am, whatever the surprises might be. Let's say they have some surprises. I think it would just be wild that they've been able to keep them so secret when they keep going more and more public, so we'll see what comes of this event, and it could just be played straight. But I feel like Hunter's always like, yeah, You never know what's going to happen. It's very Vince. In the early to mid 90s before the Attitude Era, he was always saying stuff like anything can happen in the WWF. Nico, do I think Chris Jericho will ever come back? Yeah, absolutely. Chris Jericho will come back at some point. He will totally come back. Now, I don't know if he will come back as an active competitor, but I do absolutely believe he's going to at least come back for that sort of Hall of Fame retirement run. And I don't know how much treatment he'll get, but I absolutely believe he'll retire as a WWE guy. That's just what I think will happen. He's not done with WWE for sure. Because we got to get him back in the video game, got to get some more figures made, that sweet merch money, re-release all those old Y2J t-shirts, that's something that actually is something I have enjoyed about some of these nostalgic returns, because they even did it for NXT Homecoming, is that these people come back that have been gone for a while and they're re-releasing old merch as well. I love that they do that. It's great for the performer and the money they make, but it's also good for us if you weren't able to get one last time around, or if you've outgrown the shirt that you had all those years ago. Oh, Dawsey, you're going to pull double duty, man. All right, man. You were a brave soldier. All the best to you. Yeah, I don't know what Tony Khan will think about that if Jericho leaves, or when Jericho leaves. I absolutely believe he's on his way out at some point. I don't think he stays in AEW for life. At a minimum, he'll come back just to do the Hall of Fame. Solo Sikoa promo. We haven't forgotten about Solo. Sorry, y'all. Out of caffeine. Solo says, I owe it to you to make you a champion. To Tongaloa. Telling Tongaloa his loyalty is going to be rewarded. What are we about to see with Tongaloa? Who do I think is the best microphone in Samoan family outside of Dwayne? Best on the mic? Probably Roman. I mean, probably Roman. Because most of the Samoans, and this is not a dig at them, not known for their promos. I mean, Jay and Jimmy together are great. Jacob is a pretty good promo as well. But I think where the heights that Roman got to, our current Roman, bloodline Roman, is the best. Roman had some terrible promos back in the day as well. NXT, main roster, you name it. But he was able to survive all that. Sophie, I don't think Cena goes in the Hall of Fame right away. No, I think they wait some time for that, because there's so many people from like the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era that they can put in before him. And there's even folks like Bray. You got Bray, Batista. I know Randy is still active, but Rock. It's very rare. Rey Mysterio and Ric Flair are the only ones I remember that went right away. So I mean, there is a precedent for it. I just don't think they'll do that for Cena unless they announce at his retirement that he's going to be the first one inducted in the following year. So all right, here comes Drew. And here comes the champ. Time for our main event segment. Time for the whoa. Toledo gives a wow, big whoa. I am curious about Rhea not being on the show. That's true. That's surprising. I wonder if there's more going on because you would think she would be booked for the shows. It's a good question if we see Orton or not. That could be a surprise too, you know. Oh, you're absolutely right, Shamanica. I'm sure she'll be present for the show, no doubt. But Randy, it would be interesting to see if maybe Randy makes a turns on Cody tomorrow. That could be a big surprise too. Bianca was in the crowd at NXT Homecoming. I don't know that she's 100% yet, but she was on TV, so she might be present there too as well. You know, Sean, I wish so badly that they would change the model of that title, but since it's such a branding thing with the giant logo on it, I feel so pessimistic that it'll ever change. I would love for them to reintegrate sort of an update on the Winged Eagle or something like that. Sophie, there's nothing wrong with Tiffany. She's going to defend the title next week. Oh, it was 15 years ago today when they won the tag titles. Okay. They don't need to know all the lore. Sometimes you just want to see two guys fight. Interesting. I wouldn't call it a jab, but interesting. Interesting observation, Cody. Calls Drew a keyboard warrior. He's an elite keyboard warrior, though. I give Drew credit. Quoting Tombstone here. Skin that smoke wagon, see what happens. By the way, it sounds kind of dirty, skin that smoke wagon. It just means, take out your gun. What does it say? Thank you, Cody. Is that what a tweet says? Drew just called Cody the corporate champion. That used to be a bad thing. Drew is the latest in a line of wrestlers telling Cody that the fans are going to turn on him. That's a lot of initials. The ESPN, PLE, WW. That's a lot of letters. All right, the contract is signed. I do like the continuity of Drew's character. Oh, there's the headbutt. Drew with the cheap shot. I got to give Drew credit, too, for the continuity of his character, saying, all I've ever been wanting the past 5 years is just a straight up no interference title match. So thank you for giving that to me. And boom, Drew's, he's about to do it again. Claymore Cody's head through the table. What's he doing? He's having second thoughts. Drew's not going to do it. Drew says, I'm not going to do it because this match is going to happen tomorrow, and I'm going to take that title. Okay. I mean, real talk, this is Drew's, probably best shot. He says, I'm not going to screw it up for myself. Cody's back up. Suicide dive from Cody in the suit and everything. All right, we got a pull apart brawl here. Would it have killed John Cena and Brock Lesnar to do this? Crowd saying let them fight. They're having a hard time pulling them apart. Here comes Drew. Oh, he does hit. Technically, it's not a Claymore, but a boot to the face. Oh my gosh. Nasty just stomped to Cody's head on the ground. Not like a Seth Rollins stomp either. Just a, ooh. Nobody went through a table, though. Just a fight. Sleep with that title. It's the last night you're going to have it for a long, long time. All right, that's SmackDown. That is our go-home show for Wrestlepalooza tomorrow. Leave those ratings in the comments and let me know what was your marked moment tonight. I got to say, like, I thought it was a solid, what you would call a go-home show, the show that you do, right before the big PLE. Yes, I'm fully with you on that, Sean Swaby. He is a heel that wants to win with no interference. And honestly, like, he's gone through Monday and not Monday, but he's gone through the years, even as a babyface and a heel, with the same complaint. And so I love that he has maintained that same energy regardless of how the crowd is treating him. That makes for really good character for me. And so, yeah, I love that was Drew's perspective going into that contract signing. I actually thought it was a pretty good segment. We're so conditioned to seeing violence and tables breaking and stuff, but I think that was absolutely well executed. And honestly, I got to say this: I don't think that Cody is mid. You'll never get me to admit that, but there are a lot of times where Cody gets into a feud where sometimes his opponent clearly outshines him a little bit in their passion or in their rationale or things. Not every time, but this time I'm not saying I'm rooting for Drew, but I see more of Drew's side of things in this feud than I do Cody. Because he basically is just calling Drew this keyboard warrior and all this other stuff, which, I mean, I guess that's true, but that's not really like, that's more this sort of like babyface antagonizing kind of stuff. I don't particularly love that. And so, but at the same time, if Drew's a heel and all he wants is a straight up match, I really am curious if that means there's going to be some interference tomorrow that screws Drew again. Or will Drew have his moment? Would he just beat Cody clean? Or is Drew swerving all of us and he's going to have interference to help himself? I do think Randy Orton is a question mark. I mean, will he get involved tomorrow? And when he gets involved, who is it going to benefit? You would think it's going to benefit Cody, and that'll probably be his intention, but will something else happen? I don't know. So anyways, marked moments tonight. Yeah, Brock and Paul Heyman coming face to face. The Wyatts and the Street Profits actually advancing their story with a little bit of Sithness in Dawkins' disposition, at least from what I saw. The U.S. title match was good. And then, we got a proper pull apart brawl to end the show as well. So great stuff there tonight. Let me know. Let's see. Based on A and B or comments are asking a question. Based on what just happened, does it change my prediction? No, it does not. I think I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I still don't believe for the debut ESPN thing that they're gonna step away from Cody on the first night. Now, especially that we know that it is that it's main eventing the show. I think it's going to take something significant, dare I say seismic, for them to step away from Cody on this particular show. So I don't know. I don't know what'll happen. We'll see though. And listen, just because I'm saying Cody's still going to win doesn't mean I would not be a happy camper with Drew as champion. This is a no-lose situation for me as a fan because I love Cody as champion, and I would be happy with Drew as champion too because the man has the charisma to do things. And honestly, I don't know if Cody. I hate to get into the outer things in wrestling and have that inform my fandom and my theorizing and stuff. But if Cody is still doing like Street Fighter work, and they wanted to give him more time off. Although they even acknowledged in that promo segment, they took 5 weeks off. So like, he's probably already done it if he's been gone for 5 weeks. But if he needed more time, Drew is a great person to carry that title for a little while. Drew, but that's also the other thing. If Drew was going to win the title tomorrow, it is mid-September right now, late September almost. I would want him to be champion until the Royal Rumble at a minimum. I do not want him with some 30-day or 8-week title reign. I want way more for him. So when it's time to put that strap on Drew McIntyre, it should settle in for a minute. Let him have a proper reign. And he did have a proper reign in terms of time when COVID hit, but he didn't have one in front of fans. And Drew's charisma, his toughness, his character, and the possibility of the charisma he could possess as both a heel and champion, they can't rob us of that. They can't rob us of that forever. I think Drew could do great work as a heel world champion, going on First Take, going on Sports Center and stuff, and doing his thing. Because Cody looks like a champion. He dresses like a champion. But Drew looks like a pro wrestler who's a champion. Like, he's just genetically bigger than Cody. And that will make a lot of difference, because Cody, I love Cody and I loved his story, and I'm not opposed to his title reign, but the optics of having Drew as a face of the company champion, rocking, the leather jacket and stuff with the things, seeing him again, standing next to like Cam Newton or Charles Barkley or whatever, like, he's a big enough dude. He's going to look shoulder to shoulder with a lot of those guys. So anyway, I don't know. Justin, I'll tell you this. If Drew won the title, the person to dethrone Drew, I don't know. I imagine it would be the winner of the Royal Rumble. If you're asking me, though, since it's Sami Zayn, and Sami doesn't have to have a long reign, but I think Sami would be a good winner for the Saudi Royal Rumble. Sami beating Drew would be good, because I think CM Punk is going to be chasing Seth Rollins for the world title. And so I mean, there's a lot of people who can chase Seth Rollins. CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, all those guys are still interested in chasing Seth Rollins. So no need to throw Sami into that mix, especially now that he's on SmackDown. So Sami can lose that US title and win the Royal Rumble, and then take the belt off Drew if they went that direction. Anyway, I'm talking myself into thinking Drew's going to win tomorrow, and I don't want to get too excited about that. But nevertheless, I appreciate you guys for joining me on SmackDown. I think it was a great show. The R-Truth segments were a little annoying. The constant harping on signing up for the ESPN service, although I give them credit for addressing, anybody who didn't know how to do it. But, oh man, if Kevin Owens was ready to come back, I'd be happy to see Kevin Owens with the title too. That dude was doing some great work right before he had to leave. So I would love that as well. Nevertheless, guys, thank you so much for hopping on short notice to join me. Our prayers up for A&B Combos, and I hope you guys have a good, restful, healthy evening, and see A&B Combos tomorrow for Wrestlepalooza. I hate that I won't be joining you guys for that, but I'm going to keep everything muted and stay offline, watch Wrestlepalooza myself, unencumbered by spoilers, hopefully. And I will join up with you guys again down the road, whether that's Monday on Raw or right back here Tuesday on NXT, where there is a title for title Trick Williams versus Obafemi main event coming that may or may not result in some TNA-led invasion. We don't know what's going to happen, but there's a lot of chatter. Speaking of chatter, the best kind coming from my coalition family members, A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Thank you, Mark by Wrestling, for holding it down, and we'll pick up the baton for Wrestlepalooza tomorrow. See everyone then. Have a great night. That's right, man. Dun, 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 dun. dun. Little chariots of fire for the coalition as we move things along, onward, forward, higher, further, faster. The wrestling doesn't stop. So everyone get a good night's sleep, hydrate, ice up, and get ready to rock and roll tomorrow for some great wrestling. It's a new era, man. ESPN. Listen, man, I've been a wrestling fan for a long time. It is strange to see the normalcy of WWE being present on ESPN, the sports network. So, but here we are, man. The company that was never trying to have the legitimate sports presentation is now on the legitimate sports network. Funny how that works out. But nevertheless, guys, have a great night. Have a great weekend. Wrestle your paloozas and have a wonderful time. And at the end of the day, at the end of it all, I say this every single time, don't forget to be a mark. Being a mark just means you believe. Believing makes wrestling better. So have a great weekend of believing, guys. I will see you very, very soon. God bless.